This is my vinyl record collection. It is partially to blame for why I got into art, and that road from finding something I really enjoy doing to eventually going to art school and now being here on YouTube and Twitch. You know, through that journey, I've actually found the hardest thing of all was actually doing the art. I'm gonna say the coding, the modeling, the marketing, the branding, and even like game design. Of all those things, the hardest skill to master is the arts. The rest of the behind the scenes stuff like model rigging and coding, that's the kind of stuff you could learn in just a couple months. But this art stuff, this takes a lifetime to learn. And if you're watching this right now, I'm assuming you're an artist or aspiring VTuber, or maybe you have a friend who does that. The artists out there have mastered the hardest skill of all of this, which is the arts. I've always wanted to work on stories and make cartoons, make animations. Even during the height of the animation boom on YouTube, I really thought to myself that I wanted to do that. I'm gonna say part of the fear of not starting is looking like at a lot of these scary tools and not understanding them, or looking at these expensive tools and thinking I could not afford to be here. And right now I feel like I'm kind of in my creative prime. Looking back, I feel like I had every tool I ever needed to create amazing work. When I first started, I had GIMP at the time. I didn't need all of these expensive Adobe programs to create stuff I really had. All I really needed to do was start creating, making bad things at first, and I'm still making bad things today. But for every bad idea that I bring to life, like, you get that out of your system. You know, maybe you're like me and you just like picking bad ideas. You're learning from those wins and those loses, and you learn the most from losing, so you just better get the fucking losing. Start today if you want to get good. So I like to think about this quote I heard about Go, that the only way to get good at Go is to lose your first 100 games as quickly as possible. And I think most of us as artists kind of know that's true. We've gone through like our bad sketch phase. You know, you take a look at someone like PewDiePie and you saw him climb that skill tree so fast, but let's be honest, that probably wasn't his first time drawing. I remember making my first VTuber model. I made one, it was trash. I deleted it and started over again. It was still kind of trash, but it was my VTuber model, my very first one. Eventually, as I got more comfortable with my model, a couple months later, I did re-rig it again. Actually, I think my re-rigging months later was the worst. I came out with a version 2, it's not much better. Finally, now I'm on my version 3, my like real version 3, and I finally feel like, oh, it's starting to click. But as soon as I had my first model, I jumped into the process we all know of making something over and over again until you get good. For me, that was putting out YouTube videos, trying to show up to Twitch fairly consistently. In fact, I think Twitch is my weakest link. I think I don't know what I'm doing there half the time. So from my first to my latest, each iteration has gotten more and more VTuber-like, but that's not what I love making. I just did what I thought I should do, but I want to make art my way. I want to make art more often, and that means I need to work in my style that I like making. So my version 3 is going back to that basic art style I did in version 1, but I'm better at rigging now. And I kind of think that creating something in your style, in your way, I think this is at the heart of why I think artists should be VTubers. I think you should embody your art to the fullest. Nobody can live in their space like an artist can. Nobody can really push the envelope in VTubing like an artist can. You're free to play around with ideas in a way most VTubers will never be able to. You can start the meta everyone will want to follow. Being an artist in the VTuber space is so unique. Any artist out there can post their work on, Instagram or YouTube. Once your art is you, if you really want to push your art to the next level, you should become your art and live in that world like very few artists can or do. If you're anything like me, this VTuber mask helps you become yourself, to get your thoughts and your story into the world. Maybe you have a story or a comic or a cartoon that you'd like to make happen. If you use this space, this medium, to create that art and to live through that art, I think you will be so fulfilled as an artist. I think every artist needs to stop, reassess where they want to go with it, and figure out how to use Live 2D. Even if it's just a PNG can be next level if you really let it be.